Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had stormed the Abuja residence of the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. The operatives, who arrived at about 9:30 a.m., armed to the teeth to arrest him, however, met a heavy resistance. The episode became more dramatic as supporters of the embattled governor booed the operative, while his security details denied them access into the residence. On hearing of the siren, the incumbent governor of Kogi State arrived at about 2 p.m. with more security personnel to support his political godfather. The governor, after spending over 2 hours with his predecessor, left the venue with rumors that he has sneaked him out of the vicinity. For operatives of the anti-graft agency, it was a futile 8 hours wait. With no sign of arresting Yahaya Bello, they left the vicinity, not accomplishing their objective. It is still unclear if the recent ordeal is connected to the allegations by the anti-graft agency, bordering on the mismanagement of about 84 billion naira funds belonging to the Kogi state government. However, what is now public knowledge is that Yahaya Bello is a wanted man by the commission. In Abuja for News Central, I am Idong Joseph.
Thank you very much, Idong Joseph, for that package. The EFCC has now given an update. I will take the press release that the EFCC put out shortly. But joining us this morning to discuss this is Inibehe Effiong. He's a legal practitioner and human rights activist. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, the EFCC has put out a press statement, obviously expressing their displeasure as to what has happened without naming names. But I'd like to ask you what you make of this situation where the sitting governor whisked, in those exact words, whisked away the immediate past governor. What do you make of all this drama and how the message that it's sending to Nigerians?
It is very embarrassing and utterly appalling to find Ododo, the incumbent governor of Kogi State, basically interfere with the exercise of the mandate of the commission. He had no business being at the Yahaya Bello's house yesterday. He had no business going there to disrupt the EFCC from carrying out his statutory responsibility. What he has done is a criminal offense under the EFCC Act, for which he can be prosecuted upon the expiration of his tenure. It is also quite baffling that they are claiming that Yahaya Bello hasn't done anything, and yet all this braggadocio is being put in to ensure that he does not have his day in court. The people of Kogi State deserve an account of Bello's stewardship. They want to know how the billions that came into the treasury of the state was spent during his tenure. Nigerians are not unaware of how disastrous Bello was as governor. We're not unaware of his shenanigans and brigandage. We're not unaware of the electoral malfeasance that characterized his tenure. We are not unaware of the culture of recklessness, the culture of high-handedness that Yahaya Bello, brought to bear under his administration. So if EFCC wants to arrest him and they have a warrant of arrest, why is he not surrendering himself? Why is he resisting arrest since he claims he hasn't done anything? And to have a saving governor of the state who took an oath to uphold the law, to respect the law, go and act in this manner is an embarrassment to the country. How many citizens of, how many indigents or residents of Kogi State will Governor Ododo go to prevent the arrest by the police or by the EFCC? Is Bello the only person from that state that is wanted by the anti-graft agencies or by other law enforcement agencies? So will the governor now go ahead and apply the same protection to him? But I also fault the EFCC in the respect of the embarrassment that took place yesterday, because they should not have allowed him access into that property. They should have blocked his convoy. Nothing would have happened. They should have blocked him. They should have prevented his convoy from accessing that property. His immunity as the governor does not extend to commission of crime. It does not extend to preventing law enforcement agencies from carrying out their responsibilities. It does not extend to displaying this kind of irresponsibility, this embarrassing attitude that he put up yesterday. So for the commission to just allow this to happen, and then they let it slide, and then come subsequently to even issue a very cowardly statement, in a statement where they were not even courageous enough to name Yahaya, the governor by name, and condemn the role that he played. I find it very cowardly. I don't know why the commission chose that path, but they will have to account for that themselves. I want to put it on record that I'm not satisfied by the manner that the commission handled the matter.
Yeah, I also saw a response by Yahaya Bello asking that President Bola Tinubu step in, so, and of course, rein in the EFCC so not to throw the nation into anarchy. He claims that there is a court judgment from a high court in Kogi State on the 9th of February prohibiting the EFCC from arresting him and of course, carrying out a prosecution. So quickly react to that one. Is there still that court ruling that was given on the 9th of February? If not, what is the EFCC acting on exactly? And of course, we remember that Governor Ododo pledged his full loyalty to Yahaya Bello after he was sworn in. We saw the videos of him kneeling down to greet Yahaya Bello. We've seen these things, so it's not necessarily shocking to see him act as Batman in Abuja yesterday. But go ahead.
Firstly, what is President Tinubu's business with the arrest of Yahaya Bello? In what capacity is the president going to intervene? What is he talking about? We see EFCC carry out Gestapo arrests on a regular basis. We have seen the commission invade hotels. We have seen the commission invade people's residences. Sometimes they will even break down rooms of hotels, beat up guests, arrest Nigerians when they believe they have committed a crime. As Tinubu intervened in all those cases. So what is he talking about? The president has no business in that matter. So asking the president to intervene, and you can even imagine the disgraceful, hyperbole to say that it will lead to anarchy in Nigeria. Who is Yahaya Bello? His thuggish regime in Kogi State has ended. Whatever ring of power they have, it's limited to Kogi State. To then threaten the entire country on the basis of your illegality, on the basis of your unwillingness to submit to law, is just laughable. As I said, I blame EFCC for what happened yesterday. When the governor came, they should have turned him back. They should have asked him to go back. They should have reinforced and take those security men attached to him into custody. They should have arrested them, put them under custody, and let us see how that was going to play out. But this is a country where politics trump law. This is a country where impunity prevails, over the process. Again, they are claimed that they have a court order. Did the court say Yahaya Bello, upon the expiration of his tenure, is perpetually immune from prosecution, even if there is evidence of commission of crime against him? Did the court say that even if there is a warrant of arrest for Yahaya Bello, that warrant cannot be executed? What is the court judgment about? No court in Nigeria can prevent the EFCC from prosecuting Yahaya Bello. It is a matter that has been settled by the Supreme Court over the years. There are litany of cases on this. The case of Nyame and Federal Republic of Nigeria, the case of Kalu, former governor of Abia State and Federal Republic of Nigeria. There are so many cases on the point where the Supreme Court has clearly made taken the position that you cannot stop EFCC from carrying out the statutory responsibility. This so-called immunity that they have derived from the Constitution, 300 of the Constitution, it terminates upon the expiration of the tenure of the governor. So to now want to continue to shield him from prosecution will amount to extension of immunity beyond the constitutional timeline. And that cannot be tolerated.
Right.
And the action that he filed in court was for the enforcement of his fundamental rights. I had asked the question, because I have not seen the judgment, which of his fundamental rights have been violated? Which of the fundamental rights? You can correct me, I don't know if he has been arrested and detained previously. Which of his fundamental rights have been violated? Is it fundamental rights for being called upon to come and render account of his stewardship of Kogi State? Yahaya Bello has to face trial. Yahaya Bello is going to face trial, and there is no other way about it. There are no two ways about it. He must appear in court. to answer for the charges that have been filed against him, in line with precedents set by the Supreme Court, that EFCC has the right to prosecute anybody that they have a case against.
All right. Now, having spoken to Yahaya Bello and the need for him to appear before the court, let's talk about Usmaan Ododo for a bit. The EFCC had released the press statement stating that Section 38, subsection 2 of the EFCC Establishment Act provides that no person should be able to, not the exact words, but no one should be able to prevent the EFCC from carrying out its duties, and in this case, they're liable to 5 years imprisonment. We know that currently the governor is protected by the Constitution until the expiration of the duration of his time as governor. From what you know, from what you've seen in past precedents, can you say for certain that this is a case that the EFCC will look into upon the expiration of his term as governor?
I believe a potential crime was committed yesterday by Usmaan Ododo, who has undoubtedly and undisputably made himself a clown, who has also gone publicly to pledge his allegiance and loyalty to his spirit. So you can see how these individuals, how these characters have bastardized democracy in our country. That you will have a governor kneel before his predecessor, and in one of the videos I saw, he was even telling people to continue to refer to Yahaya Bello as former governor, whatever. You can imagine. But who is surprised that he will go to do that? Who is surprised? We all know how Ododo became governor. We know the sham election that took place in Kogi State. We know that in truth there was no election in Kogi State, of course subject to the decision of the tribunal eventually. But we know what happened. Even for the petitioners who went to the tribunal to challenge this election, they even did not allow them to inspect matters. We know the culture of electoral malfeasance in Kogi State. It is not new to us. So being a beneficiary of that sham that Yahaya Bello played a role in, it is not surprising that he's not trying to please his godfather. Nigerian governors have made it a culture to impose their stooge as successors. And it is exactly for reasons such as this. Because this is not new, do not forget. This is not new. This is not new. We have seen this happen before. We have seen this kind of drama before. It once happened in my home state, Akwa Ibom. It happened in my home state once, Akwa Ibom, when the same EFCC had cause to go to the government house, right, over a report that some arms or monies were being stockpiled, and then the governor physically, prevented them from doing so. We have seen this in similar cases. This is not the first instance. The precedent has been set in the past, but the point I'm making is that it is exactly for seasons like this, it is exactly for instances like this, that you find governors want to go to the extreme to impose their stooges as successors, so that when they leave, they cannot be probed, they cannot be questioned. This is not isolated. This is not limited to Kogi State. In my home state, Akwa Ibom, we also had a former governor, Ogbnmwan, who had to also use the court to prevent EFCC from prosecuting the past administration and his own administration. So this has happened all over the country, that governors, when they leave, they want to ensure that whoever is coming in will cover their criminality, will cover all the atrocities that they committed. So I believe that when his tenure has expired, when his vote of office has lapsed, EFCC should call him in for questioning regarding the role he played today, and then possibly file charges against him for obstructing the commission from exercising his statutory mandate. This is a case that is tribal in law. I do not see how the governor can defend what he did yesterday, particularly when there is a subsisting charge against the Yahaya Bello at the Federal High Court in Abuja before Honorable Justice Wite, for which a warrant of arrest was said to have been issued. EFCC has the right to execute that warrant. But the other aspect of this is that Yahaya Bello was given a preferential treatment because of his status as a former governor. In other cases, EFCC would have even broken into that premises and taken it.
Yeah,
right?
I think we saw that happen.
The commission is this gentle, and professional in the manner that they carry out their responsibilities. We have seen what they have done in other cases.
Yeah. Inibehe, I mean, I described it earlier as a show of shame, yesterday, but I'm hoping that the current EFCC chairman, Olukoyede, and others still, of course, understand what their responsibilities are, would see where this case leads. He is still meant to be arraigned today, I believe, and would, of course, like to have you join us to, of course, discuss further details as things unfold. Thank you very much for your time this morning, and we look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you. Thank you.